Hey guys, HibbyHolo1 here. Welcome back to another video, and today, these are the wrong scale. So this will be a brief one. These are not the wrong scale. These are HO. I've been collecting these for the last couple years. I run them up at the club layout at school, but I will be graduating relatively soon, so it's time to pass them on to somebody else who will run them more than I will. As you know, and you can probably see in the background, I run primarily O scale. So, all of this is listed on eBay for sale, and you guys can go and pick it up. I'll have a link to that store in the description of this video, but I'm just going to briefly run through all of this, show you guys what's on there right now. Obviously, this is subject to change in, any amount of time if people buy things, but for right now, this is what I have, and this is what's for sale. So let's start with the boring stuff, and this out of the way, and we'll start going over the rolling stock that I have in here. So, start in this little box. This is, well, it was a box for a baggage car that I sold and then forgot to give the guy the box. So it's now the box for this wonderful Chesapeake and Ohio gondola car. I think it's a 63-footer. It may be prototypically a drop end. It's got nice detailing. It's got underframe detail. It's got metal KD. Well, I think they're metal. They might be plastic. They are plastic KDs, but metal wheels. Obviously all insulated and everything, so it's not going to cause you any problems. Our club layout is DCC, but it's rolling stock. It runs on DC and DCC. It doesn't care. The only damage to this car in particular is that step is flattened a little bit, and this one is missing. But other than that, everything is in tip-top shape. Alright, so next thing in our box of goodies is this Proto 2000 Redding caboose. I had a hard time finding one of these. This took me like a year and a half to find. It's a fantastic caboose. Proto 2000's weird with the top comes off of the base, but you can see the nice detailed interior. Getting this off definitely didn't take me like 3 hours, but it's off now, so it's in its original packaging. It's a beautiful car. All the details are intact. It comes with, obviously, the two ends. They have to be separated to be packaged, but they're in the box. The only downside to these is that they are a little stiff on the wheels because of the illumination. So the pickups bind with the trucks a little bit. Doesn't really cause a problem for anything that I've ever pulled it with, but it is a little bit tighter than your typical freight car. So something to note there. Alright, next. It's like Christmas morning, which is kind of fitting considering the season. Christmas was actually yesterday. So happy holidays to everybody, regardless of what you celebrate. This is our next item. This is a Broadway Limited Imports. It's one of the 4-pack. It's a stock car, doesn't have sound. The doors do open. Very well detailed. All the details are intact on this one. I haven't broken anything. Has plastic couplers, I think. Actually, these ones have been upgraded. So this has metal couplers and metal wheels that come from the factory. Beautiful car, a little bit shorter than your standard box car, but that's how that rolls. I don't have the other 3. I just have this one. I bought it just as the single, and I didn't realize it was part of the 4-pack until I was photographing it for eBay. So, yeah. But another beautiful car. Pennsylvania Railroad, obviously. So, on to the next thing. Alrighty. Now, we have this thing. This was actually my first purchase from a train show ever. This is a model of an X31F turtle roof boxcar, PRR. I believe this is supposed to be like the wartime lettering. I can't remember. It says modern lettering. I'm not sure if that's what that means, but yeah, it's a 40-foot boxcar with the round roof. It almost looks like a wagon top that like the B&O used, but molded in details. It's older Bowser, so take that as you will. It also has metal wheels, and I think I put metal couplers on this one too. Let's find out. Yes, it has metal couplers. So, overall, really good model. It's served me well, runs really good. But yeah. Okay, here we go again. So this is not an Intermountain car. I don't actually know who makes this, so if you guys know, feel free to drop a comment. I don't have a manufacturer marked on eBay, but I will update that if one of you guys know what this is, and it's still for sale. This is a Reading, obviously 50-foot Sharon Freedom by US Savings Bonds boxcar. It's a really nice model. Has a bunch of cast-in details. It is what I call naturally weathered. In other words, it sat in the basement for a bunch of years, so it's dirty. But if you don't like that look, then you can wash it down with some soap and water or whatever you want to clean it with. It does have metal wheels that look like they were attempted to be painted at one point. And it has plastic couplers with the little air hose coupler release tab cut off. It's probably a good time to mention that all of my stuff, I believe, is reasonably priced, but obviously it's my stuff, so of course I'm going to believe that. But everything is also set up for offers, so if you guys think that this is worth less than what I'm asking for, feel free to drop an offer and I will review it. But yeah, there you go. Buy US Savings Bonds, 50-foot Reading boxcar. Believe it or not, this is only this is a small fraction of what I used to have. I've sold a lot of it already. This is what we have next. How much is this? This is an H30 hopper car. It's covered hopper. It's made by Bowser, obviously. This thing is so well detailed. Also, I think all of these pricing stickers are wrong. I think it's different on my store. But again, submit an offer if you're interested. Does have metal wheels. I think it has metal couplers. I'm not going to pull it out of the box to check. It still has the little air hose things on it. Beautiful car. The only damage to this one is that one of these little handles up here has been snapped. Probably from me trying to pick it up, put it away at one point. Also, one of the cross braces here snapped at one point. I think when it rolled over in my drawer or something. But I did repair it. It looks, in my opinion, decent, but you can check out the photos on eBay and see for yourself. If you can see the damage, then I failed in my repair, but I think it looks pretty good. But yeah, there you go. If any of this stuff looks familiar, I have posted a couple videos on my channel before with me running my HO stuff, so if you want to see any of this in operation, feel free to go check out those videos. This is the next item. This is a 50-foot Reading two-door boxcar. Yep. I'm actually not sure what the DF stands for. It's probably something to do with cushioning, but again, not sure. Again, I think all of these pricing stickers are wrong. I might actually have it listed for 15. I can't remember, which is funny because I just listed it a couple days ago. But yeah, so another Bowser model, a bunch of cast-in details, metal wheels. I can't remember what the couplers are on it, but you can see that on my store. Very nice car, very good like mid car for just making a train longer, because that's what a lot of these Bowser models are good for. They don't have a whole ton of details, so if you're doing like small switching ops and whatnot, you usually don't run these because they're not super detailed and people pay more attention to each individual car on smaller trains. But if you're running what I used to run in these big 45 car freight trains, then having one of these in there, nobody's going to notice the fact that the stairs are cast in. But yeah, there we go, and on to the next. Alrighty, and the last piece of rolling stock is this. This is actually a double-door boxcar. This is a Pennsylvania Railroad X32A 50-foot double door with the Shadow Keystone. Another, just like the previous car, it's a lot of cast-in detail, so pretty good for a middle of a long train. Metal wheels. I can't check the couplers because the box hides it, and I'm not pulling it out because I don't want to. But you can check out the images on eBay. Again, I'm not sure if these pricing stickers are correct. But yeah, it's another typical Bowser car. So now we can get into probably the bit that everyone's interested in and where all the real money is, and that's all the locomotives that I'm selling. Alrighty, so first up here we have this, which is a BLI Paragon 3 Reading T1 484 Northern number 2109. This engine has quite a bit of history to it. When I first bought it, it was brand new, never been run before. I ran it for about an hour, and the decoder exploded, as Paragon 3 engines do. So I contacted Broadway Limited Imports, traded out the decoder, and they sent me a new one. I sent them the old one that was blown up. I installed the new one and ran it for like 2 hours, and the second decoder blew up. And I was like, okay, this is kind of ridiculous. So I mailed it in because I figured, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe it's my fault. I'll take the blame on that. Mailed it to BLI. They repaired it, sent it back to me in their reasonable time frame. And I ran it for about 4 hours, and that decoder exploded. So I was like, great. This is like, what do I do now? So it was still under warranty, so I sent it back for a 4th time, and they repaired the decoder again and sent it back to me. And that is where this checklist came from, which I am keeping with all the documentation in the box. But that is the decoder that is still in it, and it has run for 4 years and not given me an issue. So this decoder, I think, is finally a good one. Tis the trials and tribulations of Paragon 3. This has a functioning smoke unit, beautiful model. There's a couple smudges on the tender from oil, like smoke oil and whatnot, but that can be pretty easily washed off, I think, with some soap and water, but I haven't tried, so I can't confirm that. But yeah, it's a really good model. It doesn't pull as well as I thought it would. It pulls probably about 35 cars, up a 1% grade around a 32-inch curve. But, I'm not sure how much you're going to be pulling anything longer than that, and also I don't know what kind of grades you have on your layout, but it is a fantastic model. It does have the extra traction tires, so maybe my traction tires are shot and I need to repair them, but I do have those included here. All the drivers are flanged, and its minimum curve is like, I can't remember what my curve is. I think I said it was 22 inches on my eBay store, because anything tighter than that, and it will run, but it keeps popping off. But yeah, so that is my Paragon 3 Redding T1, with all of its correct documentation, including all of the Fs that are missing from the little description here. So you get acre ring fireboxes and whatnot. But yeah, first locomotive, and on to the next. Alright, so here's our next engine. This is an Athearn Genesis, Pennsylvania Railroad, GP9 in the Phase 2 scheme, and I think by Phase 2 it just means it has the radio equipped. It's equipped with Tsunami sound, so it's DCC, and I believe it runs in DC as well, but I haven't tested it in DC mode. This engine is the victim of a damp basement at some point in its life, and I'm going to probably shorten my lifespan by opening this, but you can see that in the instruction booklet here. So it's had some mold and some mildew in it. I did my best to clean out the box itself. You can see some of the remnants in the photos on eBay, because the camera's not picking it up too well. But I did my best to clean the foam, the packaging. The locomotive is totally cleaned. But yeah, that was definitely it was a bummer when I bought this and I opened it up and found that. But oh well, the previous seller did not do a good job documenting it. But it was on me for not asking. But anyway, this engine runs good, sounds good. It's incredibly well detailed because Athearn Genesis. But yeah, it's just a beautiful model. I only have one of them. I wanted to get multiple at one point just so I could run multi-unit lash-ups, but never got around to it, never had the money, never had the time. But if you would like this model, and you don't want me to include like the instruction booklet, or you want me to try and take it, if you just don't want the box in general, let me know when you get it on eBay, and I will take it out of the box. I will package it separately. I'll wrap it in as much bubble wrap as I can, and I will put it in a box that is packed with paper and secured. So if you don't want any of the residue of the previous owner in here, just let me know. It does have a little bit of a mildew smell, so if you are sensitive to smell, keep that in mind. I had somebody buy one of my items at one point, and he demanded a refund, or at least a partial refund, because of the scent of one of them. to which I gave him because that's totally valid, and I didn't know that that was a thing that people had, because sense sensitivity is a real thing. But yeah, so Athearn Genesis, Jeep 9, and on to the next locomotive we go. I'm sure some of you are probably noticing a theme by now. I'm a big fan of Broadway Limited imports, despite their stuff being a little temperamental. So this is a BLI Paragon / QSI equipped Pennsylvania Railroad E7A and E7B set in the Brunswick green, numbered 5846, which is, I find interesting because I actually have directly above me an E7 set that I bought for my girlfriend a little while ago. That is numbered 5848. So you can find that in a couple other videos as well. Again, I include all the documentation that I have on every model with the model itself. There's only one piece of plastic in this, so I lay it on top here to cover it from the top bit of foam, but I can't protect it all the way through and through. It does come with the remaining add-on details here. I did apply as many as I could, or as I thought were necessary. So it has the grab irons on the front pilot, it has the grab irons on the rear of and both ends of the B unit. It has the coupler cut levers. It runs great. It is QSI, so you get the older sounds with it, but it has some pretty cool effects. It has a Doppler that you can trigger in DCC mode, and also in DC mode, you can actually trigger the horn. If you have a DC controller that uses like a toggle switch instead of turning the knob to change direction, if you're going in a direction and you flip the direction switch the opposite way, it'll trigger the horn in both engines. And it has a really cool almost stereo sound because both units are not only motorized but have sound in them. So you get a full horn from your front unit, your A unit, and you get a mostly full horn, but like a slight echo to it from the second. So it actually creates a really neat effect. It has a 3-phase shutdown and prototypical startup. It's a fantastic model. It has the train phone antenna on the A unit, not on the B unit, with all the lift rings, and you can tell it's an E7 because of the way that the radiators are. E8s have the radiators that go all the way across, E7s just have these little ones. So, fantastic model. I got it for a really good price, so it's listed on my store for a very good price, in my opinion. But again, offers are always reviewed. So, if you want it for something else, just submit it. So with that, let's move on to the last engine. And this one is my most, prized. Alrighty, so this is my pride and joy. If any of you have been fans of the channel for a while, you will know that my all-time favorite train is the Pennsylvania Railroad M1A. My dad has a TMCC model from the early 2000s, and I've loved it ever since I was a kid. So this was originally, and I guess kind of still is, a Broadway Limited Imports Paragon 3 Pennsylvania Railroad M1A number 6712. But the decoder blew up when I was trying to do some running shots for my first HO scale running video on YouTube. It did a quarter of a driver rotation and then just died. So I contacted BLI, and they were like, oh, it's out of warranty, it's going to cost about $100 for a new Paragon 3 decoder. And I was like, well, after having 4 of them go into the T1, I think I'm going to pass on that. So, this has TCS WOW sound in it. It also has a brand new motor. The motor is also BLI, but the motor seized, the original motor seized when I was doing the TCS upgrade. So it's got a new motor in it. As I said, I include all my documentation. So this has a bunch of my notes, and original wiring schematics, and notes for installing the decoder, and some of the receipts for all the stuff that's in it. But when I upgraded this, I decided I was just going to throw in the kitchen sink and put as much detail as I could into it. Again, more documentation. So this has a bunch of additional stuff. It has, most notably, brass marker lights on the front pilot beam, the smoke box, and on the back of the tender that are all illuminated. So I've got green lights on the front and red lights on the rear. Looks basically just like that TMCC M1A. It also has hand-painted sides of the front truck here, and it has hand-painted axle ends, just to give it a little bit more of a realistic look. And the back head has some hand-painted valves on it, because the gauges came hand-painted from the factory, and I wanted to do some more detailing on the inside, so I hand-painted the valves. It also has firebox flicker, because I'm an O-gauge guy, and a firebox flicker is a necessity. So I added that in. Weirdly enough, the holes in the firebox were pre-drilled, so I didn't have to mess with that, thank goodness, because I was done. After drilling out brass headlights by hand with a pin vise, I was done drilling holes. So the tender has a radio or it has a train phone antenna on it. It has a illuminated doghouse, obviously, like I said, illuminated rear markers that are red, and it has a operational backup light that I drilled out again by hand with a pin vise. And put in a 0402 SMD LED, just like all the other lights on here. So overall, it's beautiful, it runs great. TCS has fantastic motor control, and their sounds are just top-notch for Steam. So I can't attest to their diesels. I haven't installed TCS in a diesel yet. I would probably go with Loke Sound if I was going to do that, because that's just what they're known for. But yeah, it comes with all sorts of stuff to make it, you know, the price that I'm asking for, since it also took me 3 months to build. But, again, pride and joy, but I'm moving on to O-Scale, so it's time to let somebody else get just as much enjoyment out of it as I had. Alright, so while I'm here, I'm just gonna give you guys a little sneak peek of what's to come in the future on my eBay store. Convince you guys to watch the store so that as I upload new stuff, you guys are aware of it. So this is a 5-car Redding Company set. They're all the same type of car, but they're all uniquely named or numbered. And then I have a kind of hand-built and brass-detailed, like, Martha, I think is what the company name was. Redding G2 Pacific that is equipped with TCS Wow Sound, just like my Mountain Class. Does not have illuminated markers, because I was not doing that again. Oh my gosh. That was the bane of my existence. But, fantastic model. Whoever gets it is really going to enjoy it, but I got to bring it up to the club so that I can test it out, repair anything that needs to be repaired, and configure the decoder. But somebody's really going to love this, and hopefully it goes up on the store soon. So there you have it. That is all of the stuff as of 12/26/2023 that is available on my eBay store. Feel free to go check it out, submit an offer if you want, pay full price for it if you want. I'll send it out as soon as I can. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a line on eBay or drop a comment in this YouTube video. But I'll have a link again to my eBay store in the description of this video. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. I am CW Hollow 1, and have a good day, or maybe good night in your case. See ya.